content suggestions has been edging for weeks. Listen, here's the problem with the content suggestions, okay? I feel like my interest in stream topics has become less and less esoteric. Come on, wait for the program to respond. Yeah, no, I think that my interests in topics for stream has become less esoteric, meaning I don't really care to argue about philosophy anymore. I don't really care to argue. I mean, like, I'll do it. I'll explain why I believe a thing, or if there's like a moral question, why I believe that thing. But like watching a video on philosophy, or watching a video about an ideology, or watching anything along that vein is super, super fucking boring to me now. I also think that the conspiracism from like conservatives, like, yeah, it would probably be a good move. Wait, how loud is this game? Settings. We just want barely audible for you guys. There we go. None of that is there though. That's not necessarily true. But in your defense, like, a lot of it has been, you know, relevant real life politics stuff, you know, shit like that. But also, wait, I don't even remember how to start the game. Oh, I gotta pick up like sticks and shit, don't I? Stone. Okay, that's how you play the game. But when it comes to like talking about politics, even, I've gotten, you know, in my own time, I've sat down and I've learned a lot about, both in school and in my own time. I've been learning a lot about, you know, real world politics, the functions of government, how our government, you know, derives its power, how to win electorally and shit like that. And if I was a smarter YouTuber, if I cared about the YouTube aspect of things more than I do, I would probably sit there and I would learn to, you know, what all the conspiracies that are going on right now are, and, you know, what people's, where people are getting their information and shit like that. And I'd have topics listed and, you know, all that shit. But me, if I cannot be bothered to sit there and delve into the schizophrenic ramblings of the average conservative right now, I'm sorry. I can't. There are so many better things that I can do with my life. So many more productive things than learn about every... Wait, how do you craft in this game? Okay, stone axe. Let's craft that. I don't want to spend my life learning all the conspiracies from people on the fringe left and people on the, you know, average right in the United States, at least. I in order to like either try and pull them over, I don't think that there's any reason to try to pull anyone from the brink of extremism anymore. I think it's just going to happen naturally. Something I've been thinking about for the past couple of weeks. And especially after, I can't remember exactly. Oh, wait, you know what? I do remember exactly what video it was. Let me see if I can find it super quick. I know that he put out a video about the JFK assassination. His last name is Mung or some shit. Munger? 1 second. Sean Munger. Okay, I watched a little bit of a video. I was going to sleep, needed something to fall asleep to. I listened to part of this before falling asleep. The fascinating forgotten election of 1924 would be used to publish. And there is a part in this, progressivism and normalcy. This section right here. I was still awake while listening to this part, and it basically boils down to throughout like the early 1900s and especially in the like the 19 teens leading into the 1920s, there was a lot of extremism in the United States, right? Like people were, there was like popular socialist movements, there were popular labor movements, all that shit going on. And for a while, those sorts of things really, spoke to people and really got them to go out and really got them to, become politically active or, protest and shit like that. But by 1924 for that election, people were kind of really sick and tired, of the constant, extreme takes that people were giving in politics, on the streets, the socialists, the more far right people really just wanted things to chill the out. Chill the out. And once things got to that point, all of the extremist candidates, all of the extremist politics kind of petered out because, we'd been doing that for 10 years. And none of the politicians that were elected because of the extremism or because of the ideologies were able to get anything done. Kind of the populism problem, right? You promise everyone that you're going to stick it to the elites, right? You're going to tear down all these systems that are affecting them, or that people have a perception that it's negatively affecting them and shit like that. And then after these people get into office, they either can't get rid of these institutions that they say are people over, or they figure out why the institution functions in this way, and then they won't get rid of that institution. And it's like, okay, I think that we haven't yet, but we're beginning to see that happen in the US right now. I think people are super tired. I think people are super sick. I think people are super done with the constant, ever present, extreme shit going on in our politics. And I think people do genuinely want things to chill out, return to normal for a little bit. I think that that's where we're headed. I think that even it's kind of funny, even lefties are starting to see this, and so they're trying to go crypto lib. Now I can't show this because I respect Wick. I respect his wishes for his Discord server. I don't want to get banned. But I got into a fight with Joe Lewis in Wick's server. And you guys, if you want to go through the work to scroll up to whatever day that happened on, then feel free, right? But he basically was saying he doesn't care if men get raped because we haven't solved the problem of sexual violence towards women, right? On the macro, well, let me be more good faith. He said that he doesn't care about male sexual violence towards men on the macro. He doesn't care about it on the macro because we haven't solved the problem of sexual violence against women, which is insane, right? He brings up all this stuff about patriarchy and shit like that, and then, oh, off. I was totally gonna hit that stupid deer. Why did I bring this up? Oh, but he's sitting there. He's talking about, you know, how women are suffering under patriarchy and all of this stuff. And I brought up how, you know, there's this unbelievably selective empathy that comes from lefties, right? If you are part of like the groups that they think should you know, be given empathy, then they will fight to the death. Even if you're in the wrong, they will fight to the death to defend you because you're part of the groups in their minds that deserve empathy. But if you're not part of the groups that deserve empathy, then it literally anything can happen to you, including rape. And nothing, you know, like who cares? We haven't solved the problem against that's affecting the people that deserve empathy. Power structures, which I don't know if you guys know this, is a very, very lefty way of thinking. I don't mean that just in a like I hate lefties therefore they bad way, right? I mean that in a lefties look at everything through power dynamics and kind of decide good or bad based off of like those power dynamics, right? Okay, one sec. Let me see here. We need a hammer. We need a club. Let's build crafting workbench. Really? Why is right here the best place for you? Crafting station needs a roof? Are you my ass? Come the fuck on. Anyways, it's a very lefty way of thinking like that, you know, not just as a pejorative because I hate lefties, but in a like power dynamics and, you know, who deserves to eat food, you know, because we're lefties and we don't like letting people eat because, sorry, memes. The ADD medicine's still kicking in. Anyways, so this Joe Lewis, while pretending that his take is super reasonable, that like he doesn't care that men get raped and like he's not going to focus on that because women get raped, says that he's not a lefty. Like smug laugh, like, huh, I'm not a leftist. I don't care about ideology. But what the have you talked about your entire time online? What have you talked about? Liberation, leftism, read this book, read that book. Who the do you think that you're fooling? Literally nobody, except for the people in that server who don't know who you are, obviously. You called an Asian man white because he was dressed nicely. I guess he didn't have the straw hat, so he wasn't Asian enough to you. But anyways, yeah. So I think that the lefties are starting to notice that, you know, we don't really have the support anymore for this. We don't really have, you know, anybody that wants to fight on our side anymore because people are goddamn sick and tired of the constant extremism, the constant fighting, the constant stress of the type of advocacy that you demand that we do. Okay, now we can repair everything. Thank God. And we can keep playing. Why listen to, yeah, see, I saw your messages. I didn't mean to ignore you, but I did see your messages. But I disavow any Well, actually, nobody knows, so never mind. Anyways, you would end up lighting yourself ablaze outside a Trump trial if you did. If I did what? Anyways, so I'm trying to figure out what the future holds, either for not just for me, because like I have a couple of like job options lined up for me once I move to DC, right? Yes, I disavow our private DMs. But oh yeah. If I listen to right, yeah, I had Aaron Bushnell or whoever the fuck this guy. Oh, you know what would be super funny to actually? I don't even know if we can do this on YouTube. Would it be against YouTube TOS to look at the schizophrenic ramblings of the guy that set himself on fire outside of Trump's trial? Because I'm pretty sure like reading out like the manifesto of like mass shooters is definitely illegal, but this guy didn't hurt anybody except for himself. So does that count? Or that's something that maybe we can look at some stuff for later today. Anyways, yeah, so like looking to the future of like what I'm doing either online or the rest of my life, I have job prospects lined up that are, in my opinion, very cool in DC. I have, much more knowledge on the political process than I did even a year ago, right? I am almost finished with school. And I don't see myself becoming more conservative, because that's like the whole meme, like the older, once you start paying taxes, you become conservative, or like if you're not a liberal in your when you're young, you have no heart, and if you're still liberal after you're 30, then you have no brain or some shit like that. I don't believe that that's true. However, I do think that is true for socialism. And I look at people arguing about socialism and how like people are continuing to try to push those lines, even though like people are starting to really not give a people are starting to really not give a about like the social pressure, even, which I thought was the strongest part of the socialist lefty movement. I really did think that the only thing that would stick would be the social pressure. Like we're going to shame people out of doing XYZ. We're going to do, ABC. But people don't want to deal with these people constantly shaming them for drinking Coca-Cola. People don't want to constantly get shamed for doing normal things like running through Starbucks to grab a quick latte on your way to work. People are like kind of sick and tired of that. People want to go to school. People want to go to school, but they can't because there's loud, angry, and arguably, but I haven't looked into this, so this might be misinformation. Wee woo. Headline reader moment. All right. Possibly violent protesters on Columbia University's campus, to the point where like the student leader or whatever person in charge of like student outreach to Jewish students sent out a message to all of the Jewish students at Columbia University and was like, hey, listen, if you can avoid it, don't come to class this week, because Columbia has shown that they have no capability of keeping us safe. We don't have the capability of keeping ourselves safe. So if you can, just don't show up to school, because this is not normal, and this is super dangerous. People are tired of living in this world that we have created for ourselves. I don't think Kick or YouTube cares. Kick doesn't give a fuck about anything. YouTube absolutely cares about reading manifestos and shit, okay? Hey, hey, pig. You're just gonna randomly beat my shit? No, f you. Yeah, reading manifestos on YouTube is bad, okay? But yeah, it's just getting to a point where I don't think that people really care that much about ideology. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube or follow me on Kick. And, we have the memberships on YouTube. We have the subscriptions on Kick. If you guys want to, throw a couple of bucks my way, there are some nice little treats for you. Different emotes and different AI things that the editor can do for you. All right. I'm really bad at promoing. I love you guys very much.